You know I need the password. Don't worry about all that, sis. He said I get you.
He said I get you cookies.
I get you cookies. I really can't get it. I'm not gonna tell you.
Mercy's getting mad, bro.
Bro, I'm lagging, bro. Let's go. You got the game chicken too?
If I never fell on defense.
What sense did I make, bro? What sense did I make?
Me, how busy you be? Can you cheat on you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, okay, you cheat on me? Don't lie. Don't lie to me, because if I found out you cheated on me, I should have got
Yes, sir, Dre.
I should have found out you cheated.
Oh, if I never got away, bro. I'm gonna get this lock now. Hold on.
Like I said, I want to wipe you.
Nate.
People like the lie and say they forgot the password. But I ain't gonna see that. You should. You should. You should.
Hey, bro, stop spamming me, dog.
You like to get live?
My dude to limit that.
You like to get live too?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. I should have shot.
What, nigga?
I should have shot.
Yo, I'm wide.
Alright.
I heard about you. Ooh, good job.
I'm the lock now.
Worry about all that, nigga.
Yeah.
Take it to the right, babe.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm the best fermenter. I'm about to prove it right now.
Oh, it's not. See?
I bet sure it's a little.
Oh, yeah, but see the hell you call me?
No.
Oh, nope.
Yes, sir.
See?
Yeah, bro, play no game.
Play no game. Play no game.
Ah, he got that one.
Shit. Tell her who's the man in the relationship.
Nah, for real. Don't 20. Oh.
Well,
Yo.
you hear me?
I want to say Trey was wide open.
Tell her who's the man in the relationship.
Bro. Stop telling me to get done. Alright, chill.
I know.
Who's the man in the relationship? Alright?
He said, tell me the man relationship.
But now I'm on the phone with another girl, so you know I gotta speak another language. Sorry, no.
Bro. Bro, down.
No, he's going too deep, bro. You're already not going to keep shit.
Yeah, that nigga ain't gonna
Alright,
shit. You gonna dick kick your shit.
Don't point me. Oh, cause it's not my fault your best friend don't like you cause I want to ring you. It's not my fault. What? Oh! What? Well, it's not my fault. Don't get mad at me. Lockdown.
Oh, 2K gave him that BS, bro. Bro.
No, you gotta bounce that.
I was going to give it to you, but the other dude was right there.
It's like I'm playing. No, don't take it to me. Bounce past it.
to train.
What's with you?
Bro, it's lockdown. Icky.
Oh, you got a date.
You have to roll it. Just lockdown. Icky.
No! Oh my god, bro.
That's a steal.
Game, but his game is game. He's about to be on my tip the whole game.
What we done now?
Give it to Darnell. He's on my dick.
Keep playing. I'm gonna watch you.
Man, bro.
He's gonna go to be on the whole game. Not go towards Darnell.
Yeah, because the lockdown's gonna follow me, bro. It's gonna be on that weird stuff. Lockdown. Yeah, bro.
Bro. Damn.
Yo, what's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Oh, yeah, bro. I got your drill moves on 19 now, bro. I mean, 20.
You said you got mad dribble moves?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'll rock you plus.
Yeah, I got your drill moves on 20.
Question mark?
You said what?
3 question mark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got one more person?
What?
The man's about to do
3v3. Bro, hey, bro.
Alright, I'm down. I'm down for a 3v3.
3, 4. Who's this?
Jason.
V pulling out on you and somebody else.
I'll be on your team. Y'all want me to.
Take a moment, count my food, send my news.
Man, never man. I don't care who.
This game is weird, bro. Block, bro. Come on, 2K. Bro, watch when I just
Jason!
bro. Move, bro.
Doing a glitch, bro.
Nothing, bro. That's a game.
These niggas is doing a glitch, bro. What the fuck? I gotta do glitches to win.
Bro, we not gonna get three.
Doesn't matter.
Hey, Jason, hop on 2K, bro.
Nobody's problem.
Bro, you trying to run 20 later, Jason, bro? Cause I need somebody to run 20 with, bro.
Do your man's got a big man, Jason?
Yeah, we gonna roll with Nelly.
I'm getting my, alright, then I'm getting my shark shooting shotgun.
They suck, bro, for real. Bro, as long as I can get that lockdown off me, bro, we're good. I can get that lockdown off tip, bro.
Oh.
V pulling that on you. Bro, you trying to play 20 later, bro?
I'm hopping on 2K19. Yeah, I'll hop on 20 later.
Bro, I'm going to learn how to use them moves, them drill moves you gave me, bro. I gotta learn how to use them, Jones. I just got them today. I'm about to learn how to use them, Jones. I'm not guarding that lockdown close. He can't shoot for me.
Yo, I got a 2 hour delay tomorrow. I'm fucking tweaking.
Swear to God. Yeah, because I'm getting 2 hour delay. So I got a 2 hour delay.
Yeah, we might not have no school.
They might not give us school, bro. That's weird.
My school is a walking school.
You said y'all don't have buses.
No, I'm talking about me under 20. Oh, you got it. Niggas walk outside or after school.
Trey, you got Trey, you gotta pass the ball.
You gotta start passing the ball earlier, bro. Cause you already know what that lockdown gonna do, bro. So you know what I'm saying? You gotta be quick with the passes, bro. You gotta be quick with it. Look at that, bro. Ball watching, bro. I can't with this dude, bro.
Still on pause.
Don't
I get that
move,
going every
bro.
time.
Lockdown don't get
On
off
pause.
tip. Yeah, bro. Trey, just go on. Watch.
I got a weak ass cart.
Ooh,
I gotta open
bro.
twos,
Lockdown
too.
did not get off tip, bro. I
This
can't
part
do no
sucks.
with this lockdown in front of me, bro. I cannot do nothing.
Yes, bro. Bro, there's every 3 quarters open.
Just go guard your dude, bro. Go guard your dude. Trey, just guard your dude. Guard your dude, bro. We got our dude.
Every
Bro.
3 quarters open.
Hold on.
Every
Lockdown
3
will come
quarters
straight.
open.
Only probably ran out of the way, bro.
Yo, when y'all done with y'all game, join me, put me out on the
Oh my god, bro. Can't do nothing with this dude in my face. Can't do nothing, bro. I can't even shoot the ball. I can't do none of that.
Join me, yo. I got every 3 quarters open.
They on tip, bro. They're on tip, bro. What's good, bro?
When you for Christmas get Madden 20, bro.
I got Madden 20.
You got it?
Yeah, I just got downloaded back.
Yeah, when I get it, you gotta play me, bro. That game smacks.
Better than you, bro. Better than you.
I'm in the sport.
Hurry up.
They're in the game.
Bro, all these people just start joining out of nowhere. Come to the random score.
Bro, Trey, calm down, bro. I can't do nothing, bro. I can't do nothing, bro. Cause you're down. You're ball watching worse than I do. I don't even ball watch this hard. Bro, come to 12 too, bro.
We're in the what's it called, bro? We're in the park.
I'm at the random score.
This park we got right here is what's it called?
Everything's open.
Everything's open, bro.
And there's only 11 VIPs and 5 60s.
We joining y'all after this, bro. I'm not standing this part. Weird. I see you real weird. I'm a person, bro. Good shit. This game is weird, yo. I can't do nothing with this lockdown ball watching and being on tip. Can't do shit. Exactly, bro. Like, you shouldn't have to ball watch that hard.
Huh, bro.
Trey, just, bro. Come on, bro. You're a paint protector for a reason, bro.
Hurry up, Jason.
What are you reading for? What the fuck am I saying?
Yo. Yeah. Ooh, Trey. Ooh. Alright, never mind. Good shot. Dang, bro. You just gotta hit them, though. Bro, me and Rower were open, bro. We actually were open.
What score to y'all game?
14-5.
Be patient, bro. Almost done.
Oh. This game is weird, yo. Look at him, bro. He's ball watching. Damn.
Okay.
Oh. I want the pit. Bro, move, move. Trey, go over there. No, don't shoot the lock. I'm about to say the lockdown point because bro, we're about to be done, bro. Game's about to be over. I just want them to end it, bro. I just want them to end it, bro. For real.
Come on, Jason, hop on these 2 dots.
Like, look at it, bro. You can't even get the fuck out of
What score, Donald?
It's 9-16. We're losing. They're still up.
But they suck, bro. Come on.
Cause this lockdown's on dick. Trey, bro, come on, bro. You are a rim protector, bro. You know how to guard that. Trey, you're good at defense, bro. You're better than this. Yeah, pull the chair, bro. You should not be a defensive player, bro. Yeah, come on, bro. You know you're not playing.
Oh, because I just went to my attributes. I forgot that I can't do that.
Game.
Oh, bro, I gotta go do it again.
No more, no, bro. Yeah, that's dead, bro. That's dead. Come on, bro. We're joining the park, bro. I'm tired of this, bro. Tired of this. My Elite 2-1 down, bro. Nah, bro. Come on, Trey, bro.
Can't even do a 3v3 no more.
Yeah, Trey. Every time we lose, bro. Every time we lose. He stays. Then Trey wanna sit there and dribble and don't look for people, bro, thinking he's a god. Cause this dude wanna sit here and think he's Cecil, bro. Like, not Cecil. Stop trying to be someone else. Trying to be Cecil. I see what Cecil's saying.
Yo, what we doing, yo?
Hacker.
What?
I said hi.
Let's run record screen. We're joining.
She like it when I pull out. She like it in her mouth.
Man, Trey, stay in. Trey, bro, he stayed doing this every time that we lose, bro. And we're younger than him, bro. We don't cry this much. He cry more than we do, bro. And we're younger than him, bro. I know, bro. The thing is, he act like he don't know how to, bro. And that's why I helped him, bro. Cause he was about to score, bro. And if I didn't help him, he would have scored. If I didn't help him.
I'm joining.
Like, Trey acting like he don't know how to play defense, bro. He knows how, he just chooses not to do it.
Oh yeah, but we ain't got no bag, baby. I gotta do it again.
Yo, where you at, Jason?
I gotta do it again, bro, because that nigga got a bag. And I made my player 6-7, so it'll be very good.
Yo, so why do you gotta do it again? But Nelly is a pure stretch.
Yeah, bro, I'm making bro. I'm getting on my class credit, bro. I said we're gonna hop on the Tuesdays till what's it called, bro?
Yeah, bro, where's in here?
We'll do good 2v2, bro. Me pulling out on you versus somebody else.
Yo, Nelly Bass, come on, let's play this Tuesday real quick.
I bet.
No, nigga, I'm doing it back, Nicky.
Bro, it's gonna be real quick.
No, bro, I'm doing it back right now.
Oh, never mind, they got the spot anyway. Karen, why you keep putting me on pause?
Okay, I'm sorry.
See, you don't like it when I call you by your real name, so stop making me call you by your real name. See, as soon as I say that, you put me on pause. Now, if I start calling you by your real name, you get mad. Take me off of pause, then. Little dudes. I've been saying that. Can you hurry up, Jason?
No, because
Shut up, Corinne. Let's talking to you. But can you stop saying your day? Like you're annoying. I'm about to mute you.
he's not calling me my girlfriend.
Nobody's calling you by your girlfriend. Tanil.
You're calling me my girlfriend.
Then stop making me call you Corinne.
Well, you.
What you mean that? You gonna start calling me by my real name?
Yo, y'all wanna play rec or something, dude?
Yeah.
No. Swear to God.
Oh, we be streaking in wreck, bro. If you play with us, bro, we be streaking in wreck, bro. Nah, bro, but when you play with us, bro, we be streaking in wreck, bro. We be streaking and not doing, bro. Bro, if you play with me, Rover, on Dirty Road, bro, we be streaking in wreck, bro. So, straight streak.
Are we playing threes or what are we doing?
We gotta get a 6. Man, I'm trying to win. Yeah, weird.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on some bro. That's cool with you. If you don't want Devin on your team.
Yeah, you keep telling me that. Why your chest hurt?
Y'all niggas is still in this call.
Yeah, bro. You real ones, you feel me?
Oh. Man's name is I'm Davis. Tom Davis.
What's up, bro? Bro, we about to get 3v3 cracking, bro. No! Yo, Jason, remember Superman from back then, bro?
Oh, that's Superman.
Yeah.
That's the nigga that was toxic and shit.
Yeah. Why don't y'all just run with Railroad?
Fuck school, I dropped out.
Alright, bro. Bro, join the...
Shut up.
What you said? What's the other thing we could do?
Bro, after this game, you gonna give
Bro,
me
might as well
something.
just play rack, bro. We might as well, bro. Alright. Alright. It's either y'all run with Greg or what's his name? Railroad. That's what I'm saying, bro. Railroad was already playing in the first place, bro. Y'all can't just do Railroad. Bro, Railroad, I'll play with you, bro. Because I'm not going to let them do you shady like that, bro. But still, bro. Railroad was playing to play, though, bro.
Oh my God.
The thing is, Railroad was playing already.
I'm so sick.
I'm not trying to leave Railroad out, though. I'm not trying to leave them hanging.
So we going to 3v3?
No, we might have to do direct because they don't got players.
But I just don't want to leave Roro hanging though. Bro, Roro, do you care being left out, bro?
No, Railroad's not gonna be left out if we do rec. They don't have to.
I mean, then you say you can curse.
Well, do y'all want to? They don't want to do rec though. I asked them, they said no.
No, you're not understanding, bro. Me, you, Greg, and Railroad are 5 people.
Well, and Devin, you missed Devin. But yeah, we could do rec.
No, I gotta do rec. On my phone, I don't gotta do rec. You can do rec on my phone. On my soul, we already got 5 people. We got the real niggas right here. If they don't want to play, they could dead. Talking about. Unless they gonna find something, unless they gonna find a 6-man for us to play with. If we're not gonna play, if we're not doing no 3v3s, I'm running rec. Either I'm running rec with them, or I'm running rec with my man. What are you talking about?
You running rec with your man.
Alright then. Because they supposedly are not talking, they can run too. Make it center. What are y'all doing? Common sense. You don't know. It's 5-1, 2 of them. Simple. You're on the squad.
You bet. Send another squad invite. Hold up when I get done tearing my clothes.
So,
I ain't gonna call you bitches.
Y'all two, you and then IQ is running 2 while we go on rec because we don't have a shit. So,
Hey, bro, I invite you to the squad, bro.
Alright, bro.
I am now.
What's wrong? I'm watching a Shotgun Playmaker, right?
I'll be back.
I'm letting him shoot. Don't let him shoot. Your protectors can shoot. He's making that every time.
What? Every time I pick up.
I was about to draft. I'm gonna get a FaceTime call, but I don't want to answer.
Who's the purpose?
I don't know. Unknown caller. And also my man. I ain't touched nothing. I didn't touch nothing.
I didn't say you did. I said I'm telling everybody.
What happened?
I got SPS centers you could drop me with being pulling out.
Hey.
Not doing that. I'm down here. No, you're not. If you're not coming down here, I'm going to stop.
Hurry up, Jason. I gotta go eat. Yeah.
My grandma made me hot chocolate. My grandma made me hot chocolate. Oh, this is ass. 75. This is gorgeous. But we're not
In the corner? I got there's some cheese stuff, bro. It's so long and fast.
Bro, can you start hitting me, bro, so I get threes, bro? This game gotta end fast, I gotta go eat.
Whose man is that?
I was sitting there wide open, but good shot. Yeah, me and Roberto was open, but it's cool.
Imagine boxing me half court.
Roberto was gone. Good shot. Bucket. Good steal, Devin. You should hit me. Shot on that next time, but you good, bro. You down. Bro, great. Like, stop dribbling, bro. Stop dribbling, bro. Ain't time to dribble. Bro, come around.
Here I come, Dad. I just need to score 3 more points.
Oh, I see Devin. Oh my. There he is.
Come on.
Hit me. Oh, never mind. Good pass. Fuck it.
I'm out.
Bro, that's how you know we have chemistry. We don't even need to talk, bro. What's good, bro? Bro, what's up, bro? Hey, my man. He is all watching ever, yo. Alright. Bro, whose man is that, bro? Oh God, bro. I'm over here trying to watch my man. Yeah, I was late. It's cool, bro. Well, we gotta start guarding the 3, bro. We gotta guard the 3. Bro. Now we gotta start guarding the 3. That's what it is, bro. We go to 3, bro.
First of all, he is a perfect California. I checked 21 and 8 months. Secondly, ask yourself, you are an adult who you believe.
Wow, great. Look at Tron. Ah, look at the beautiful pass.
I'm a snitch.
Watch the cut, Yo! Defense! Oh yeah, go crazy then. Psyche ain't going crazy. Oh, I was ready to get, what's his name? Number 5. That, number 5 was ready to shoot that joint. He was ready to give it to number 5. What, the, number 00s? Yeah, the one that be banging, bro. I gotta watch that, bro. Yeah. Give me here. Corner. Railroad down low. Easy. Yes, sir. Railroad. Get money. Yeah. Yes. Still, yeah, facts so yeah.
Hello? Huh?
You already knew what color that was. I'm gotta say it. Yeah, I want you to throw it down. Yeah, don't throw it down, because you know that drone will get stolen. Best ball watcher in this universe, bro. Yeah, I thought I had a 3. That's what I'm saying. Oh, I got murder on. He caught a body. Hey, he caught a body right there. I can't catch. He caught a body. I gotta get my revenge. I gotta get a 3 for that. Yo. Block that. Look for one of us down court. Oh, it didn't let me shoot. That was a good pass, too. It didn't let me shoot. That was a good pass. That pass was on point, though. They gonna be on my team. Who's in the paint, bro? Yeah, bro, that's why you got kicked out. You gotta stay out that paint, bro. If you open, bro, just say something. We got you, bro. Just say something. Yeah, you got kicked out. Yeah, bro. It's because he's in the paint too long. They didn't even help me, bro. I had to whole jump by myself. Yeah. Shot. Money. Shot. You're right. Oh, I gotta watch that.
This nigga is a sailor, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta take it. Give me the ball.
Dang, I'm so heavy. I be open every possession. No cap. I be open like every possession. I be getting myself open perfectly. I mean perfectly. Ow. Ah, murder. Come on, bro. You can't know that was a... Come on. That's a steal. Come on, bro. Oh, it made me hold it in, bro. They made me hold it in. Come on, 2K. 2K, man. Good shot, bro. Bring it, money. I'm only trying to get the 5, yeah. Number 5 on lockdown. Number 5 on lockdown. Y'all ain't letting us shoot no more. We know the deal now. Delay. Alright. Bro, why you leave, bro? He probably did, though.
That's crazy.
my god, bro. He's always in the fucking bitch.
Big ass nigga, get out the paint, young fuck. Hey, bro, jump. Don't. Yo. Get money. Cause you be seeing, bro. Me and you got the eyes, bro. You feel me? Me and you got these eyes, bro. Look at the eyes. Yeah, Devin, I see you with the eyes. Devin got IQ now. Let's get it. Devin got the IQ now. Devin got the IQ now. I see you, bro.
Alright, but her speed is not. That's crazy.
Yo.
Come. Back on. Oh, half bar I sold. I sold that one. Yeah, great. You said what, bro?
I'm the best thing I roll basketball.
I roll basketball? Hey, what was you doing when you was playing Roware and them, bro? Cause Roware told me you was hacking, bro. He said you a hack.
Yeah, bro. Hey.
Bro, Railroad, you a hack, bro? Cause I heard you as a hack, bro.
I was beating on niggas. You can't even lie, I was beating on niggas.
Yeah, bro. He said you play like Kyrie. He said you play like Kyrie.
I just can't dunk. But when I want to shoot, I can shoot. Don't get it messed up.
Alright, bro. Bro, when you want to go hoop, bro? When it's nice outside. Or at the record song. Or at the record song, bro.
Why are y'all even coming about the foot?
It's not supposed to be here. I don't know where that's getting the ball.
It don't matter. Who gets the ball?
He said it don't matter. I'm weak. Yo. Oh.
I got fouled. How do we not about to kick it?
You should have shot. A little bit on that.
Let me see the ball, man.
Fucking shoot. Remember. Shoot, bro. Shoot. Bucket! Bucket!
Yes, sir! Walking bucket! Me and Greg, walking bucket! Yes, sir! We're walking buckets, bruh. That's why I wear that helmet, you feel me?
This nigga ran back and then greened that bitch. Walking bucket!
Come on now, bro. Too easy out here, bro.
I got full Gatorade.
Hey, got him. Body. Ooh, you should have kicked that to me. I ain't gonna cap you, bro. Now you losing that IQ, bro. You losing that IQ now. Yeah, you got the IQ back. Yes, sir. You got the IQ back. Oh! Yeah.
Fucking horsey. Oh, never got in my way.
I know you saw me cut, bro.
I was gonna package you, but take down.
Oh my god, he's hacking, bro. That's crazy, Darnell.
Oh, you don't be hitting me. So I'm gonna hit my manager, feel me? What, bro? You was whole taking it to the rack whole time, bro. You was whole taking it to the rack and trying to shoot, bro. Like, calm down, bro. Calm down. Like, come on, bro. We still winning, so calm down.
Yo.
Me?
Yo. Wilder now.
Why you jumping? Yeah.
That's the screen.
I got the cross when he pull that bit.
Bro, Giannis can't hit no shots, bro.
Check it down.
Hey, but he can drive to that paint though. Hey, drive with Giannis, bro. You straight. Bro.
I don't miss free throws, bruh.
He don't miss free throws because he's a my career god and a free throw god, bro. Stop playing with that man.
You're acting that about me when I'm in my career.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He a my career god, bro. Put on free throws. Yeah, bro. You can depend on him with the free throws.
Is that game almost over yet?
Third quarter.
Third quarter, bro. 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
Is he going back in there? We going back in there?
Of course.
Of course, bro. We gonna keep streaking.
Oh, watch yourself. Watch yourself.
Hey, I was saying, watch yourself.
Greg. You wanna know what you should have did? You should have pulled so you get the 3 fouls. Pull that.
Pull that bit. Oh! That made me trying to think he a stretch, bro. He be trying to think he a stretch. He trying to think he one of us, bro. Not one of us, bro. Yeah.
Bro, I'm on college.
Oh, where you going, bro? Hey, yo, Brett. Yo!
Bro, I gave Devin the sexiest pass, bro. I swear.
He should have shot that bit. He should have shot that.
Ooh, I got the perfect fucking.
Oh, he had the perfect animation and everything, bro. Should have gave me that steal, bro. Only if I was right there, bro, and they gave me the ball. But 2K got me on some other stuff, bro. Good switch.
2K6.
Lob that beat.
Nigga, not the you, bitch.
Bitch ass nigga. That's why Devin should download Dragon Ball and I should beat on him in it.
Exactly. That's why you got dunk on, Greg.
That's why I should disrespect him in Dragon Ball, bro.
I'm not even gonna jump to that. What you mean?
Ho.
See. Yeah. Bucket. Oh, 2K.
Why you call for that, bro?
Oh, stop being a selfish faggot. But good shot.
Darnell, I'll smack you on your forehead.
Bro, I'll smack you in your chin and back hit you, bro. Stop playing with me. I'll back hit you, bro. I'll back slap you.
You're a snake. Greg's a snake. You like KD. He's a snake.
Yeah, you snake and left the thunder, bro, on that snake stuff. Come on, Devin. And
wow, y'all talking about
me. Nah, bro, no, you ain't want to hit us. You ain't want to hit us, bro, so no. Exactly, bro. Y'all don't listen. You on that bot stuff, you feel me?
I said Darnell.
Did this nigga just spam me, bitch? You want me to go take over, don't you?
God, bro. He wants you to pull that bit. Green!
In his mouth.
Free throw. Whack.
But he really,
I don't even gotta say it. Look at the wrist. Hey, look at the wrist, bro. It's just all on the wrist.
Come on now.
Feel me?
He's gonna make me this.
Straight in the wrist. You feel me? Straight in the wrist, bro. He ain't no walking bucket. Stop shooting, bro. You're not a walking bucket, bro. You're not me and Greg, bro. Like, come on now. Like, you not me and Greg, bro.
Let me get the ball.
Come on, bro. You ain't no walking bucket like us.
Evan, bitch, give me the ball.
Evan, you nigger.
No.
I'm driving in paint.
Green that big. Buckets, bro. Just hand me the rock, bro. Now pull it up and straight. Bow, bro. Come on. It's that simple. Just work with your boy. Work with your boy, bro. Because nobody ain't trying to give me the ball. That's why you got the most points to be open.
That's why.
You know, that pass. Oh, he almost body job. You lucky you blocked that. You saved your teammates from getting body. Yo, bro.
I couldn't pass out. Block that again.
I'm gonna stay down court. Brick. What'd I say, bro? He's bricking us. Look. Check it out. Ah! Check it out. Oh, bro.
Look at me.
Yeah, look at us, bro. Green, nigga. Yeah.
Wasn't to be open. You better be glad I passed you the ball.
Exactly. Yeah, pull that bit. Green. You
I
feel
really
me?
could get a double right now. I'm like, dude.
Bro, I need to get these points up, bro. But I'm just crazy.
I'm at the
See, look, bro, he don't make me guarding me, bro. Whoa.
Bro, he's really
I'm about to get
pissing me
takeover.
off, bro. This nigga Devin sets a screen, bro, when I could have dunked on a dude, bro.
Damn me,
Oh my god.
Come on, Devin, stop being selfish, bro. I'm about to...
Foul, bro. Foul till you get off the game. Foul till you get off the game.
Yeah, bro, until you get off the game. Oh my god, bro.
Damn, bro, you're being bodified right now.
Exactly, bro. You're being a JB, bro.
If you would have passed out to me, bro, I would have had take.
Hey, bro, you're being
Bro, I could have had take two, bro, but
Stop
you
snaking.
should have been past me that shit.
Snaking and shit. Ooh. Ooh, right there.
Oh, right there. Bucket!
Oh my goodness.
Look at
that's
the
sexy.
passes,
What
bro.
happened?
Hey, that's what me and Cecil did in real life when he broke Ken. Gave me the ball. Green. Hey, that's like a real life moment right there. Cecil gave me that ball. Broke Ken. Gave me the ball. Shoot the three. Green. Man, I got that takeover, bro.
Why don't you activate the
Shoot that,
takeover?
John, bro. You should activate the takeover like me.
You. You have
I
to.
didn't have takeover. I was close.
Bro, y'all should let me use that takeover, bro. Ay. Me about to waste me takeover, yeah.
Dad, why you call for the ball?
I didn't even call for
No, he wanted his takeover. That's why he called for that, John. He was trying to get that takeover.
I didn't even get a
Bro, but you
bag.
want that takeover though, bro. You feel me? You want that takeover. Start pulling that bit.
I didn't even call for the ball. Shut up.
But you know you wanted the ball though.
Who got that still though?
You should let me get that takeover.
Oh, here, let me
You should let me use that
finish.
takeover. Oh, come on, bro. You making me waste my takeover, bro.
Hard ball.
Fuck
Calm
you,
down.
take it.
Fuck you, nigga.
Darnell, I got you.
Oh no, here to. From here to.
Got you. Oh my god, Darnell, you talking about that way. No.
Come on,
There
Greg.
you go.
Yeah, better hit that shit.
Bro, we're too good, bro. We're too nice out here, bro. We're too nice.
Come on, bro. We too nice out here.
Who got that
Oh,
takeover?
come on, bro. 2 walking buckets on the same team, bro. Come on now.
Oh, I ran back and stuff.
And
Imagine me and Greg on the same team.
ooh, where you going? Like I'm in there. I'm in there.
Come on. We out. Come on, bro. Stop being selfish. Stop being selfish, bro. Stop being selfish.
You lose the ball. You show
Break.
miss off tape.
Yeah, better hit that off tape. Don't be no bot. Don't be a Andre or JB. You feel me?
Fact, don't be an Andre or JB. Andre missed twice off takeover.
No, bro. This man missed like 4 or 5 times with takeover, bro.
That's it.
No, bro. When me and him and Karan was running threes, bro, he missed like 4 or 5 times with takeover, bro. Like,
But
no
why
cap.
y'all not contesting this shit?
Yeah, contest it. You niggers.
See why they keep fucking making it? You
Exactly.
bastard.
Yeah, niggers.
Why?
Bro, you better get yourself open and hit this next shot, bro.
Yeah, hope he
She
stands
can
you
dribble
like
so
that.
much.
Hope he stands you the whole fucking game.
Yeah, bro, waste that takeover, you bot.
No, I spent him X before Devin even gets there. And I'm
Come on, bro. Come on, nigga. Look at you getting the ball stolen, goofy.
I was like, back of
Steal that
I was
shit.
like,
Give me that shit.
Woo!
Don't
Stupid!
get.
Stupid! Okay, now. Who said such big can't dunk?
Exactly, bro. Who said stretch big can't catch contact dunks?
Yeah.
Broke boy. Oh, what you doing, Greg? You got a guarding, bro. You got the strap. He got the stiffy up. Got the blinky up. He got the blanky up. Bro, where? Come on, tell him, bro. Say, do it, bro. He got the blinky up. Got the stiffy up.
You can't fight me. That shit was water, nigga.
Exactly, bro. He got the blinky and the stiffy, bro. Bro, Greg, he got the blinky and the stiffy guarding, bro. What you doing? The blinky got the stiffy on, bro. Like, come on. Like, come on, bro. Stop playing with that man before he get the stiffy on you, bro. Like, for real.
Bro,
I was getting ready to say it, bro.
Fight me, bro. Fight me, bro.
Ooh, that's a block. Come on, bro. Y'all know y'all need to get it.
Darnell, give it to me.
No, wait. Alright, what's up? I got you. Oh, this is the dude who missed with Takeover. He's back. He's back.
Darnell, I swear to God. Pass it to him again. Darnell, if you pass it to him again, I swear to God, we're fucking.
Give me the ball.
Give me the ball. Yeah. Look at me, bro. Ooh. Ooh. Step back. Bang. Oh, get the board. Oh, yeah.
I'm in.
Darnell.
I'm actually hit it.
Oh yeah. Come on, I'm Davis. I'm about to eat your.
What the perfect three, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Yo, Darnell, you
Imagine
wanna
you
know what I
only got 10
realized?
points and shit.
What, bro?
Let me be open.
You know how we're walking bucket?
Yeah, bro.
Nigga! Run your man, bitch!
Yeah, I know how we're walking bucket, bro. We walking bucket.
Oh, do that.
Hey, come on, walking bucket. Show me what you do. Come on, walking bucket.
Come on, yo.
Oh yeah, walking bucket number 2. Let's get it. Oh yeah, walking bucket number 2. Yeah, walking bucket number 2. Blinky got the stiffy. Oh come on, bro. You gotta hit those, bro. Alright, I'm about to show y'all it's done, yo. Give me the ball next possession, bro. I'm gonna show y'all it's done. Let me show y'all. Let me see that.
In your fucking
Come on, here. Come on. Oh come on, let me show y'all I'm done. Let me show them how a walking bucket is, bro. Oh yeah, show them how the walking slasher is. Got the blinky got the stiffy Show them how the walking slashers are, bruh. Oh, you should have caught a body, and catch a blinky, and catch this brick, You don't got the blinky with the sticky, Pass it. No, you don't got the blinky with the stiffy, bro. Let us show you how it's done.
Dang, stop spamming.
Bro, let the walking bucket
Give me the
show
ball.
you
No, I'm not giving you shit.
Broke boy! Give me the board, yeah! Ooh.
Darnell, here. Walking bucket right here, Darnell. Walking bucket right here, Darnell.
You about to catch that bucket. You about to catch the bucket.
Got the blinky and I got the stiffy yeah!
Devin's about to leave because he only got 10 points.
I don't care, bro. He's being a selfish nigga. Come on, bro. Walking buckets that could get blocked, bro. Come on. Who you know that does that, bro?
Devin is fucking sick.
Break. Ooh! Walking on that, yeah, Devin. Yeah, bro. Yeah, Devin. Yeah.
No. Don't talk to me, nigga. You got the little
Bro, come on, bro. You was whole ball hogging, bro. Come on now. You was whole ball hogging, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? You was whole ball hogging. We still winning, bro. Like, calm down, bro. Like, I know you want to sit there and ISO, bro. But, like, you was selling, bro. You was about to make us lose, bro. You was about to make us lose, bro.
No, I'm not playing right with y'all niggas.
Bro, come on, bro. Chill. It's not that serious. Go Rower. Oh! No! That bitching, bro. Quit bitching, bro. Just come on. Stop bitching, bro. That is bitching, bro. No, he's mad because we ain't give him the ball on that bitch shit. Bro, he's mad because we ain't give him the ball, bro.
Who was?
It was, what's his name? Jason. He left. And Devin's mad because we won't give him the ball, bro. You're selling anyway.
Who got the ball?
Oh, bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. You just had the ball, bro. It's selling.
Yo.
Player of the game.
Roblox.
Player of the game.
You said you're player of the game, are you?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Did you get the DC?
Tell me when y'all ready so I can join y'all, yeah?
Join. You ready? Don't join.
I can't join y'all in a wreck. Y'all gotta lead a wreck.
I'm gonna change my player so Devin can run point, alright?
I'm gonna play guard, nigga.
I'm about to run point guard, bro.
I'm about to change my player so Devin can run point. I'm about to start catching bodies real quick. Darnell knows who I'm talking
point guard, bro.
No,
Darnell knows who I'm talking about. I'm about to start catching bodies over here.
Who you bringing on? Because I'm bringing out a guard.
You're bringing out a
Yo,
guard?
Ella, you still streaming?
I'm about to get on my lockdown. Wanna get my lockdown. Wanna get my lockdown. Wanna get out the fake girl. Get out the fake girl. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get on that fake girl. That girl. That girl. Better go get on that girl.
Devin's bitching. And he's snitching. And that's why he gonna get the clipping. Devin bitching and he's snitching. And he's gonna get the clipping. Ooh. No Scottie Pippen. Ooh.
Wait, you said Devin's what?
Who knows that?
He.
You said
No.
Devin sucking pee.
Devin better not be mad that he didn't get the ball. He better get
Devin is bitching. And he gonna be snitching. And we gonna clip him. Ooh. No Scottie Pippen. Ooh.
Hey, girl, I ain't gonna catch that.
My boy Scottie Pippen.
Oh, bro. They caught him slipping. Ooh.
Shut up, bro.
Caught him slipping.
Yo,
Ooh.
fat ass dog, bitch. That was fat ass here, bitch. You smell fat ass neck.
I'll punch you, bitch. What are you talking to?
Nigga, I'll smack you in your upper lip. Nigga, then pull your tongue out. Fuck you.
You look like a fucking turtle.
You look like a dirty ass.
Caught him slipping. Then we gonna flip it. Ooh. Caught him slipping. Then we gonna flip it. Ooh.
Look over there saying Scottie Pippen. Ooh.
Darnell, shut the fuck up, dude. Oh my god.
Scottie Pippen. Ooh.
No powder. Ooh.
Scottie Pippen. Ooh.
Bro, tell me why I forgot
Take a shower.
that I am
No power. Ooh.
was on the Warriors. That he went to the Wizards. I forgot all about
She
that.
hurt me.
MJ played for the
But
Wizards.
she ain't lurking. Ooh. Come on.
Yeah, I forgot all about him playing for the Wizards.
Cause they call me Scottie Pippen. Woo. Invite bro, where you at?
Like Josh now.
Switch the channel like I'm pimping. Ooh. Switch the channel like I'm pimping. Watch your channel. Is you going to sleep for the night?
Oh, man.
You going to sleep for the night?
Yeah, I'm tired. I gotta sit up.
You gotta sit down, you know what I'm saying?
Don't knock over my apple juice.
I got you.
Oh, I got your stuff on the couch. I changed your towels already.
Thank you.
I'm tired. Come on. Come on, man.
Okay.
And to try to say, hey, it took more than one photo, so all of a sudden they're buddies, that's just ridiculous. Dude, you're missing the context, and I understand why. Well, Joshua, the point is this. Parnas was part of this process of getting the president's value as he saw it out of Ukraine. They worked with Giuliani. Giuliani was constantly guiding the president. He says he did everything that he did for his client, and they wanted to get the Bidens and get people who wouldn't help them to do that out of the way. What is the relevance of a letter saying he doesn't know me? I went up to him at this donor dinner and told him about Yovanovitch, and he was really upset about it. Wouldn't that be something you remember?
Yeah, the relevance here, Chris, is that Giuliani was acting in the president's private interests, not in the interests of the United States.
Bro, that you talking shit about, bro?
Furman and Parnas into the equation,
I saw her today, bro. You should saw what the fuck she was wearing, bro. She was wearing Jordan 1s, bro.
Not being done through official channels or for foreign policy or for the national interest of any kind. Further in that reporting,
the fake ones.
Interesting, Chris, is that it was Parnas who floated the idea that the Ukrainians make this announcement about investigating and looking into the basis of the 2016 election interference. Again,
I think they should be taking pills, bro.
Off to the side, who has no connection to the U.S. government, and I think it's completely
What's up, Darnell?
Any defense that the president has that what he was seeking when he had that phone call was something that was fulfilling his duty to advance the interest of the United States as opposed to his
I
own
got two
interests.
more questions and then I have to go. Hold on, Jimmy, I'm going to come to you.
Long before any of
Jimmy, I'm going to come to you. Give me 1 second.
All of a sudden, Les Parnas says it is, and now the
Jimmy, I'm saying forget about Parnas. I don't know about that. I think it was probably Rudy's idea or someone around the president to get the announcement because that would put the stink on Biden. Because if you really cared about corruption, then you don't want some announcement from a guy that you don't trust in a place that you think is corrupt. You'd want to see the action. But if you really wanted action on Biden, he would have gone to the DOJ.
No.
Which is this. You do not have and we do not anticipate getting anyone to put the words in the mouth of the president. I'm not giving them the aid until they give me the announcement on the investigation. And as long as that remains the case, Asha, can't he argue in good faith, and people who want to defend him argue in good faith, he didn't mean it that way. That was the other people who had no intent, and that could save him.
So Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, your actions speak so loudly, I can't hear a word you're saying. And so what we have to look at are the actions that were taking place in the context of this phone call. And we know that by the time this phone call had taken place, the aid had already been withheld. The people at the OMB say that it came at the order of the president. And the Ukrainians understood that this aid was being withheld. They were on the brink of actually making this announcement under duress. Presumably, Bill Taylor's opening statement when he testified states that he had to actually confirm and call them and make sure that they weren't going to make this announcement. He was so concerned about it. So, you know, you don't have to have the words right out of his mouth. We very rarely have people, you know, I mean, the president does confess to crimes, but in this case, we don't need him to confess to the crime because there's a lot of context that's taking place in addition to what he is saying in the phone call.
But if you want to make it an attempted bribe, you're going to want to tie it as closely to the president as you can. I just think that's a threshold to be aware of going into it. For you, Jimmy, starting tomorrow, do you think you're going to arrive at a point where you guys will have to accept what happened and why it happened and then make the argument of consequence? That, yeah, okay, we get what all these people say. They're all saying like the same thing. This is what happened. This is why it happened. But it is not worthy of removal, and here is why. Do you think you're going to get to that point?
I think you get to that point only to the extent that, one, you know, you made the point succinctly, Chris. There's no tie to the
where's Darnell at, yo?
Mouth. And there's and there's
I want to ask him about that girl he was talking about.
Gave that
D went under her pants.
Quid pro quo. And in the transcript itself, I think that what the Republicans are going to try and do is bring this back to the transcript itself, which there is no quid pro quo. And there's also there's no
extra when they do that shit.
Investigation. He didn't ask for them to find him guilty.
Even a droid too. Come over to the wrong time and say my fucking name.
That is the dirt. That is the dirt. As soon as I hear that Jimmy Schultz is under investigation, he's got stink on him. I gotta go.
Okay,
but that's what,
there's a lot of people who have a lot of problems with what Hunter Biden was engaged in.
That's fine.
And that's
you should have gone to the
DOJ.
You should have gone to the DOJ and not had your lawyer do a shadow situation. And I don't think Giuliani should be the fall guy for what this president wanted.
Foreign policy.
I know, but this wasn't about foreign policy. This is about personal policy. But I got to jump. I appreciate the argument.
Let's see what the American people think.
100%.
Man, I would love to get back on 19, but after that 98 glitch, man, fuck that shit.
Principle. We'll see how it goes. Asha, thank you so much.
And they got to live with those votes.
Oh, you got to get the last word, Jimmy. You know what? I give it to you.
I do.
I'll rely on you both. I'll see you soon, and thank you. All right, some crucial movement for one Democrat in the race for president. Polls are snapshots of where you are in a moment in time. And this is some moment. We're also getting the first look at what Bloomberg faces if he jumps in. The Wizard of Odds, deep diving into the numbers and the hurdles. What did he come up with? Anybody knows. Next.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
Oh, got 8 points. What the fuck?
to our military service members at home and abroad for all their hard work and sacrifice. We all sleep easier knowing you're out there keeping us safe. And on a personal note,
Yo, was it cold outside over where in Pittsburgh?
Just needed to get that off my chest. Thank you.
Geico, proudly supporting the military for over 75 years.
E diavolo di dragoneria
When you have pain, you want relief. Fast. Only Thermacare Ultra Pain Relieving Cream has 4 active ingredients to fight pain 4 different ways. Get powerful relief today with Thermacare.
The American people can fix anything. The problem is, corporations and the people who run and own them have purchased our democracy. Here's the difference between me and the other candidates. I don't think we can fix our democracy from the inside. I don't believe Washington politicians and big corporations will let that happen. The only way we can make change happen is from the outside. For me,
what are you doing?
This comes down to whether you trust the politicians or the people. And if you say you trust the people, are you willing to stand up to the insiders and the big corporations? And
he take a long ass shot. I don't know how nigga be doing this shit, bro.
Democracy. A national referendum, term limits, eliminating corporate money in politics, making it easy to vote. I trust the people, and as president, I will give you tools we need to fix our democracy. I'm Tom Steyer, and I approve this message.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upsets stomach, diarrhea, try new Pepto Liquid Caps for fast relief and ultra coating. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, get powerful relief with new Pepto-Bismol Liquid Caps.
T-Mobile's newest signal reaches farther than ever before. With more engineers, more towers, more coverage. It's a network that gives you with coverage from big cities to small towns. Introducing T-Mobile's 600 megahertz signal. No signal reaches farther or is more reliable, and it's built 5G ready.
You know your kids are smart, but did you know enrolling them in Kumon can make them even smarter?
Right now we're doing the Pythagorean theorem. My name is Christine. I am 10 years old.
Kumon, where smart kids get smarter.
We must keep up the attack on the media. You've got to keep destroying their credibility. There's not a good one on the whole goddamn tree network. Not one.
Nixon by Nixon, in his own word.
We should be watching for in the morning. Chuck Rosenberg is here with us tonight. We've got a lot to get to.
Look who's cheap now. You are. And millions more just like you with cheapoair.com. Because when you spend less booking your flight, you're free to do more, see more, live more, and save more. So you can start planning your next adventure. Just download, click, or call, and save on the best flights.
Cheapoair.com.
Go ahead, be cheap.
They say life is all about making choices.
Oh my fucking god, bro.
Well, I didn't choose metastatic breast cancer. Not the exact type. Not the specific mutation. But I did pick hope. And also clarity. By knowing I have a treatment that goes right at it.
Discover Piqray, the first and only treatment that specifically targets PIK3C.
Harris 0 for 11 from 3 in this game, and the Sixers survive. But Zeke, sometimes you see teams have to almost mirror the effort of other teams. And we used to say about Memphis, the grit and grind. I know you talked about John Beilein in our pregame. Are we already starting to see the culture that he's presenting of the work and effort that the Cavaliers were putting out? Because it seemed like, tell me if I'm wrong, Philly was having to up theirs as the game went along.
Absolutely, and what you're seeing is, similar to what he did at Michigan, what he did at West Virginia. They play a very methodical.
skin reactions are pregnant, breastfeeding, or plan to become pregnant. Common side effects include rash, nausea, tiredness and weakness, decreased appetite, mouth sores, vomiting, weight loss, hair loss, and changes in certain blood tests. If you've progressed on hormone therapy and have a PIK3CA mutation, ask your doctor about Piqray.
Bullshit.
Long ago, we would walk on the sidewalk.
That's all.
All around,
Bullshit,
the wind blows, we would only hold on to blowing kiss into the sun, we need someone to lean on. Blow a kiss into the sun, all we need is somebody to lean on. All we need is someone to lean on.
Little Shoe Store in Squirrel Hill is the area's only super shoe store. Our expert staff
You're not here.
find the right fit and style for you. From the trendy to the traditional, there's always something new to find at Little. We have a huge selection of shoes, boots, and accessories for men, women, and children. Whether you're looking for an exclusive European brand or everyone's seasonal favorites, you'll find it here. Bring the whole family. There's something for everyone at Little Shoes. Open 7 days a week.
I can't score. I'm getting some assists. The fuck?
More extraordinary moments.
If I can't score, I'm getting an assist.
With movies anywhere. Simply connect your Verizon account with
this game be rigging in my career.
Then enjoy your favorite purchase movies your way, wherever and whenever you want. Your movies from your favorite accounts, all in one place. Your movies together at last with Movies Anywhere. Sign up today.
Take you inside the impeachment inquiry. Get up-to-the-minute reporting on our live blog, plus fresh video and analysis. And listen to the latest developments on our newest podcast, Article 2 Inside Impeachment, hosted by Steve Kornacki at abcnews.com/impeachment, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, I love yellow.
So you were employed on January 21st, 1969, and continued to be employed until March 14 of this year. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Mr. Butterfield, are you aware of the installation of any listening devices in the Oval Office of the President?
Yeah, I know his mic moving. He get me pissed off, man.
I was aware of
that shit pissing me off.
Listening devices. Yes, sir.
Nixon aide Alexander Butterfield's shocking admission, July 1973, that there were listening devices inside the Oval Office.
Is that
came a full 2 months into the Senate Watergate hearings. They started in May. That didn't happen until July. And that, of course, is the development that would ultimately lead to President Richard Nixon's resignation the following year. But again, it was 2 months in. Watergate hearings didn't start off with that kind of fireworks. On day one of the Watergate hearings, they started off with the Nixon campaign office manager. The Washington Post reported after day one of the hearings, quote, "If you like to watch grass grow, you would have loved the opening yesterday of the Senate Select Committee's hearings on Watergate." Tomorrow, the House Intelligence Committee will kick off its first day of public impeachment hearings with testimony from the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine and the top career official at the State Department with responsibility for that part of the world. Both of them saw up close the impact of President Trump trying to pressure Ukraine into investigating his domestic political opponents and hanging up U.S. aid to that country to add to the pressure that
I'm not going to be sitting here with fucking 16
Joining us now is NBC News presidential historian Michael Beschloss. Michael, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure, always, Richard.
Well, let me ask you first to correct me or to put me in better context if you think I've laid that out poorly.
I'm trying to tell you what we're taking a nap, bro, and he's going to be good.
No, I think you were absolutely right. And what they were trying to do in the Watergate hearings was sort of courtroom procedure. You start with the office manager, and he describes how the Nixon campaign is organized, and you sort of work your way up.
Shut the fuck.
John Dean, who was the star witness, didn't testify until something like about 5 weeks later. And the other thing is that unlike tomorrow, before the Watergate Senate hearings began, people may have had suspicions that Richard Nixon was at the center of the cover-up, but they could not know that for sure.
Right.
Nor could they know, as you were just saying a moment ago, about things such as the fact that Richard Nixon was taping most of his private conversations, which would completely alter the outcome of the case.
Michael, one of the things that I learned tonight looking at that old news footage of the way the first day of the hearings were covered in Watergate was that, at least according to the White House, Richard Nixon didn't watch. that he didn't have a TV set up in the part of the White House where he was spending his time at the time the hearings were on. The White House made clear, went out of their way to say that he was working on much more important things and wasn't going to be spending time engaged in this Watergate circus. I wonder if, looking back on that, if historians feel like the Nixon administration was sort of out of sync or not paying close enough attention to recognize the impact that those hearings were having on the country and on perceptions of Nixon himself.
I think that's right, although Nixon probably watched a little bit more than people were claiming. He was trying to suggest that he was not being affected. And even in support of that theory, it was mentioned that Charles de Gaulle did not have a telephone in his office in Paris, so Nixon was sort of emulating de Gaulle and keeping his distance from the television. But that's absolutely right. I think Nixon had no idea that these hearings would move public opinion as much as they did. But as you were suggesting, it took a while because the Senate Watergate hearings, which were not impeachment hearings, those were an investigation. Those began 15 months before Nixon finally resigned. What we're talking about now is a period that's about to be much more sped up.
And Michael, to that point, one of the things that you've raised in the past in terms of trying to find some guidance in history here is that an unusual thing about these impeachment proceedings is that they're happening before the president's re-election efforts, rather than happening in a second term, which we saw with both Clinton and Nixon.
Where he at?
Now, part of the reason for that is situation specific. I mean, what the House believes they found here was an effort by President Trump to cheat in the forthcoming election, to engage a foreign power to illegally intervene to benefit him in his campaign. And so that puts some urgency on trying to hold him accountable for that before that election takes place. I wonder how you're thinking about that, though, in terms of how that dynamic might play differently in the Trump impeachment than it has in those others, given that the re-election campaign looms.
I like this played.
Yes, well, I think it's going to be a more superheated, more divided.
Yo, well, where's this thing they have in 2K20, bro? It's so good to get badges and XP.
NBC News presidential historian Michael Beschloss. Michael, it is always good to see you. This is a sort of rivetingly historic time. We know we'll be talking to you a lot in the next few days. Thank you, sir.
Euro Davis! I'm the new Arm Davis now. Fuck that shit. Yeah. Euro Davis in the building. Green. I can never shoot from deep, bro. I can't, bro. I gotta get these badges up, bro. I can never shoot from fucking deep, bro. Wait. Man. I mean, wide open from deep.
Failure is what for the Democrats?
Well, success is exposing the truth. This president engaged in an abuse of power. And I think we're going to see three things tomorrow. Number one, we'll see the professionalism of Adam Schiff and others. Who are doing, I think, a bang-up job.
I'm sorry, natural reaction. I was ready to jump over this table on you. You ain't got time to eat that. Don't even open that. Bus will be here any minute. You should have been down here earlier to eat. You're going to have to take it to school with you.
I don't want to go to school.
You ain't got no choice.
That's my friend.
And why you don't want to go?
I want to ride the bus.
Why? Well, girl, you better answer me.
Kids be mean to me. They say all kind of stuff about me.
And what you say to them?
Nothing.
I know.
Honey, folk gonna talk about you till the day you die. It ain't nothing you can do. Let folks talk. When people talk about me. Yeah, because you know, they used to call her wild load. Wild load. Beep, beep, beep. That's what they used to say when she be coming, beep, beep. Honey, listen to me. It ain't what people call you, it's what you answer to. Do you hear me? You remember that. Come on.
Where you going?
To the bus. Come on. I'll be right back, y'all. Sit there and eat. Come on. All way to deal with a bully is to confront them face to face. You understand? Hold on, bus driver. I need to talk to somebody children on the bus. Come on, little girl.
Saying I'm not playing. Beat is me. You can't beat me, Arm Davis.
This here is a friend of mine. And she been telling me that a few of y'all been saying some stuff about her. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I catch one of y'all saying something, it's gonna be me and you. You hear me?
Shut up, I'm watching Madea. Alright, I had 6 threes. That's kind of... I couldn't do it.
All my life I had to fight. I love Harpo, but I kill him dead before I let him beat me.
Who's Harpo?
I got a new playmaking badge. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. But give my VC though.
Ain't nobody gonna mess with you.
Bro, we'll make an offensive threat. That's what I'm saying. Make an offensive threat. That's what we're gonna do. Yo, make this main build right now. That's going off. We can dunk, shoot, and dribble. It's all builds.
Just do it.
Him making shots are ass.
And I understand that, but actually the American people can walk and chew gum. They understand that the member
such circumstances. But I know that it's probably closer to a worst-case scenario to have spent the eve of your public impeachment hearings watching your deputy campaign chairman testifying against you in a criminal trial, testifying for the prosecution, testifying that you, the president, appear to have lied under oath to the special counsel. It is probably also approaching a worst-case scenario for day one of your public impeachment hearings to start just as jury deliberations simultaneously start in the ongoing criminal trial against your longest-standing political advisor.
I'm out here all-star.
That is how the president is getting ready for his impeachment today. And the overlap gets even more uncomfortable than that. That story's next. Stay with us.
Hi, honey. We got in early.
Yeah, and we brought Steve and Mark.
I am absolutely confident about the candidates we have right now. They're taking it to Donald Trump. We're leading with our values. We're talking about the issues that people care about. And so I'm not part of the hand-wringing. I'm very excited about our candidates.
So, yeah, I remember that Clinton situation back there in '92. There was some Italian that nominated him at the convention. Funny guy, big nose, weird smile. I think he was from New York. Let me ask you something else.
Great speech giver, too, by the way.
He could. He wrote them and he read them and he really owned them. God rest his soul. So the idea of this new bunching up you have in Iowa, that what was all about Biden, then it was Biden and Warren, then it was a little bit Biden, Warner, and Sanders. Now it's about 4 at the top. Margin of error really makes this pretty much dead even. Yes, the Buttigieg campaign has every right to bang their chest and say, look how far we've come. But, you know, look at the jump with Buttigieg. But you basically have a 4-way tie in Iowa. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means that we're at mile 9 of a 26-mile marathon. And I used to run marathons, and I have no idea who was ahead at mile 9 of all the marathons that I ran and watched. We have a deep field, and when you have a deep field of really talented people, you're going to see these ups and downs. I mean, this time in 2003, I think John Kerry was 4 or 5%, and Governor Dean was ahead, and things changed. There's a lot of energy out there. The polling I read.
Reaction to any vaccine component, including eggs, egg products, or after a previous dose of any flu vaccine. Tell your healthcare professional if you've ever experienced severe muscle weakness after receiving a flu shot. If you notice other problems or symptoms following vaccination, contact your healthcare professional immediately. Side effects include pain, swelling, and redness where the shot was given. Other side effects may occur. Vaccination may not protect everyone. If you're 65 plus, don't settle for a standard dose flu shot.
Influenza going down.
Move up to Fluzone High Dose. See your doctor or pharmacist and ask for it by name.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier. Hey! My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise. Who's the dummy now?
Forget Allstate. Where good drivers save 40% for avoiding mayhem, like me.
Sorry. He's a baby.
It is amazing that it is happening at the same time that impeachment hearings are starting against the president. But there were, on their own terms, very headline-grabbing moments from the courtroom today in the trial of President Trump's longtime political advisor, Roger Stone. There's testimony today in court from Trump's deputy campaign chairman, Rick Gates. And according to Gates' testimony, the Trump campaign was told months before WikiLeaks ever posted any stolen Democratic documents, months before, they were told that WikiLeaks was going to start doing that during the campaign. Rick Gates also testified today that he witnessed a phone call between Trump and Roger Stone about a forthcoming document dump from WikiLeaks. And that sure makes it seem like the president may have lied in his written testimony to Robert Mueller when he told Mueller in writing that he never talked to Roger Stone about that subject. So those headlines from the testimony are bad, right? Particularly as the public impeachment proceedings are about to start tomorrow. But the testimony itself is just, even beyond those headlines, it's just deadly. I just want to read you this. We just got in the transcript from today's trial. Just check this out. Prosecutor, quote, "Do you recall, sir, that on June 14th, 2016, the Democratic National Committee announced that it had been hacked by the Russian government?" Rick Gates, yes, I do. Question, "And did you have conversations with senior leadership of the Trump campaign regarding the DNC's announcement?" Answer, we did. Question, what was the campaign's attitude toward the DNC's announcement that it had been hacked by the Russian government? Answer, we believe that if information were to come out that, based on what we were told that information might be about, there were a number of us that felt that it would give our campaign a leg up. Mr. Stone indicated that he wanted to reach out to Jared Kushner and political director Jim Murphy to debrief them on the developments of the DNC announcement. Question, on July, were there any brainstorming sessions held at that point? Answer, oh yeah. Prior to July, there were brainstorming sessions on the idea of, if the information was leaked, what would the campaign say and respond? And then once WikiLeaks did release the hacked material, question, what was the campaign's attitude toward the release? Answer, the fact that the information had come out, the campaign was in a state of happiness. When the Trump campaign heard that, specifically, the Russian government had hacked the Democratic Party, they thought that was great for them. They thought they could definitely use that to their advantage. They then held brainstorming sessions about how they would plan to use this stuff that had been hacked and stolen by the Russian government. And when the material hacked by the Russian government was indeed actually released, which they say they had months of warning about, the campaign was, what's the phrase? In a state of happiness. Public impeachment hearings start tomorrow over the president's efforts to use a foreign government to help him win the next election. Today's courtroom drama in the Roger Stone case, a timely reminder about the first time he did exactly that. Joining us now is Chuck Rosenberg, former U.S. Attorney from the Eastern District of Virginia, former senior official of the Justice Department and the FBI. Chuck, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I am allergic to Roger Stone, and so I find it hard to talk about him as a character because he still wants to be viewed as a character. But it does seem to me that what has ended up being important about this trial is that we learned a lot about the Trump campaign and indeed the president and their interactions around the Russian documents that were stolen and the Russian efforts to interfere in the election.
Of course. I mean, of course they're in a state of happiness. This is a big deal. I mean, the Russians hacked into the DNC and the DCCC computers and stole stuff that would be helpful to the president, well, to then candidate Trump and to the campaign. Of course they're happy about that.
In terms of the president's, I mean, I'm reluctant to say liability here, but the testimony from Rick Gates today suggested that when the president told Robert Mueller in his written answers, I didn't have a conversation with Roger Stone about WikiLeaks. I don't know of anybody in the campaign ever talking to Roger Stone or anybody else about WikiLeaks, let alone about advanced knowledge about the timing of those releases. Gates is saying, I witnessed a conversation between Trump and Stone where that's exactly what they talked about.
Right, but in the president's written responses, his lawyers put in a really important caveat. Let me give you two statements to illustrate the point. I have never been a guest on the Rachel Maddow show. Demonstrably false. You're a witness.
Yeah.
And we could use the tape to prove that I lied. I don't recall ever being a guest on the Rachel Maddow show. Now prove that false. That's much tougher. And in the written responses, everything is caveated. I think that's a verb. Everything includes the disclaimer, I don't recall, to the best of my recollection. And so I don't doubt that the president had those conversations, but you're going to have a hard time proving it because he caveated it with the I don't recall.
In terms of the odd sort of news gods joke of a coincidence of jury deliberations likely starting tomorrow in the Stone trial, just as the public impeachment hearings are being convened for President Trump on the Ukraine matter. I have to ask you about this parallel that a lot of us in the news business are drawing between the Russian effort to interfere in the 2016 election to benefit President Trump and what we now know in part through the Stone trial about the way the Trump campaign welcomed that. The parallel that we're drawing between that and what the president was trying to elicit from Ukraine for 2020. Do you look at those things and see them as parallel, if not equivalent?
I look at them as parallel, but not perfectly so. For instance, the Russian effort started in 2014. We know that. It's in the Mueller report. That's when the Russians tried to get 4 of their operatives into the United States. 2 of them eventually came on false visas. And so that was even before we knew who the candidates would be. In this case, it's the president soliciting the help. Right? One is Russia gifting it to the Trump campaign, and they appear to be willingly, happily accepting it. But this one is a little bit different, right? In broad strokes, it's parallel, but the president is going out and soliciting help for his campaign using publicly appropriated military aid for Ukraine.
Chuck Rosenberg, former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, former senior FBI and senior Justice Department official. Person, I will say, talking to you about these matters and the way in which you present this information is one of my benchmarks and one of the reasons I'm very excited that it's going to be trained former prosecutors who are conducting the testimony, conducting the questioning tomorrow.
Me too.
Yeah. I should also tell you that Chuck is the host of an awesome MSNBC podcast, which is called The Oath. This week on The Oath, Chuck sits down with former U.S. Ambassador to Mexico, Roberta Jacobson, who honestly is a force of nature. Chuck, I really appreciate you being here, my friend. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Speak with you soon. All right, we'll be right back.
Look. Only one thing's more exciting than getting a Lexus. Giving one. The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Lease the 2020 NX 300 for $329 a month for 27 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
My body is truly powerful.
I have the power to lower my blood sugar and A1C.
Because I can still make my own insulin. And Trulicity activates my body to release it, like it's supposed to. Trulicity is for people with type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin. I take it once a week. It starts acting in my body from the first dose.
Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it, you or your family have medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, or severe stomach pain. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, belly pain, and decreased appetite, which lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
Hey everyone, time for the gift exchange.
Ooh, I've got mine.
Everybody get ready. All right, let's open it. A cup phone. It's perfect.
How'd you know?
Just what I wanted. Yeah.
This holiday season, the Cup Phone really is the perfect gift for everyone. With removable cups, the Cup Phone secures your phone in virtually any vehicle. Order your American-made Cup Phone at WeatherTech.com.
You got a couple.
Give the best DNA gift this holiday season. With Ancestry and Health, you get more than 1,500 geographic regions and insights into your health and an automatic family tree builder, and it's 50% off all November long.
Wednesdays. At Outback, they're for steak and beer. Walkabout Wednesdays Outback. Get a sirloin or chicken on the barbie, fries, and a draft beer or Coca-Cola, all for just $10.99. Hurry in. Wednesdays are for Outback. Outback Steakhouse. Aussie rules.
If your underwear feels like this, get buck naked. The most comfortable underwear there is. Only at Duluth Trading.
Sleep Pittsburgh, we keep it simple. Brand names for less. Can't sleep? It might be time for a new mattress. Plus, the kids could use a new bunk bed. And some new furniture would look great. See you at Sleep Pittsburgh in the morning.
At Sleep Pittsburgh, we sell brand names for less. With a great selection of futons, day beds, lift chairs, kids' furniture, and bunk beds. Sleep Pittsburgh, we truly are your local discount mattress store.
Simba, you must remember who you are. The one true king.
Disney's The Lion King.
Rent or own this movie today with Fios On Demand.
This is my favorite kind of breaking news. At the very top of the show tonight, I was cavelling about how NBC covered the first day of the Watergate hearings in 1973, specifically this title sequence that was the lead-in to the live NBC News special report for the first day of the Watergate hearings in 73. And I cavelled about this for obvious reasons.
NBC News Special Report. Watergate, Senate hearings.
So I was like, we are definitely taking that special report theme song from 1973 because the Rachel Maddow Show needs more timpani. Well, because you are all the best viewers in the world, I am now informed and am absolutely convinced that that is a Berlioz symphony. That is from Symphonie Fantastique, composed in 1830. And here's the amazing thing, because you were the best viewers in the world, I almost can't believe that NBC was this on the nose with its music choice that day, but it wasn't just Symphonie Fantastique. The music that NBC used as the lead into the impeachment hearings in May 1973 was specifically from the fourth movement of that symphony, which had a title. The title is March to the Scaffold. Thank you to the Rachel Maddow Show viewers for knowing your French romantic composers. What would we do without them?
I'm standing on a mountain, about to fall. I'm running on the rooftops, 50 foot tall.
I have a plan. Did you get her up to this? Did you know about this?
No, I'm just surprised as you are. Even though I really want that she have the stones to pull it up. Oh my God, wait. So to her fans, she is trending like crazy, but in a good way.
You think that she is denouncing the church and its Christian values? Does this mean that...
If you go hang on every single word I say.
You talking?
Yeah. Yeah, Daddy loves you. You know that? Daddy's gonna always love and respect you. Even when we disagree, you won't ever have to worry about that. No, your life is gonna be different. Because I'll be different. Yeah. I'm gonna break this mind cycle, son. I promise. I promise. Hey, Hannah.
Hey, is that all you can think to say to me after what you did?
Want music from tonight's episode? Hey Siri, open Apple Music.
I am retaking the reins. You are out as CEO.
You sabotaged all, son. I'm just finally seeing you for who you really are, and that ain't much.
You'll only beat Lucius if you play dirty. It means going for blood.
Big Party, all new next Tuesday on Fox.
911, what's your emergency?
The entire tunnel is going to turn into Chernobyl.
911, all new, Monday, November 25th on Fox. Tomorrow night, you won't believe who's unmasked next. The Masked Singer is all new.
Channel 11 News on Fox 53 at 10. Starts with severe weather Gene 11 coverage.
Yes, and a live look at the city of Pittsburgh tonight. Things have calmed down after a slick evening commute.
Take a look. The roads were covered in snow and ice, and several
were shut down until crews could get out there and to plow and to salt those roads. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Sylvester.
I'm David Johnson. Now the concerns about the temperatures tonight and overnight into tomorrow. We have severe weather Team 11 coverage for you tonight. Channel 11's Amy Hudak live in the North Hills. First, we start with Pittsburgh's chief meteorologist, Stephen Cropper, who is tracking near record cold. Stephen.
Yeah, David, in the wake of the snow showers, just wanted to give you a quick look at Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. As expected, the snow has come to an end, which is great news, even though we didn't get...
They're still on the game. God damn.